We need to get off Torboy earlier. So our engagement's really weak unless our ball's here. And he is all the way in spawn. All the way back here.
I feel like even without your ball, you guys can win this fight really easily if you get a good flex, dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the winning condition right now.
Okay,
so basically what we have right now.
Nope.
Like you definitely need a flex
ball,
early.
You need
like,
to
really
get better
early.
engagements.
Like it's already too late.
Like on the
like
Ana a lot more.
Out here because I had to hide earlier.
We're way too
like
passive.
If you go back,
our cooldown usage is
when they're like
garbage
rounding
for
the
our
corner,
tanks.
Is usually when
So
you're
tanks
like
work
looking
on your
for something.
Because
by the time they get like
cooldowns,
yeah, when they start like swinging out, it's like really hard for them to escape. But also that's like when they're like posturing to like go.
Yeah. Right now they're gonna be holding this corner because it gives them cover, but when they need to push, they're gonna try to like expand a lot of angles on you, and like swing out right side. So when they're in this corner, they're gonna be more grouped up than after this choke. You'll see it like this, right? They start swinging this way, down this way, away from that corner, and most teams will also do it on this choke too. They'll go this way more when they start to cross this choke. It's just kind of the way that you take angles on tanks.
So when kind of trying to combo that flex, then would it be better to focus on?
Hold on. Why'd you back up all the way here? Yeah, why are we backing up? I thought we were gonna hold this space.
Yeah, you definitely need to.
And then we back up because the ball hit you. But we have McCree, Flashbang, Honestly, and Brig Bash that... Honestly, Brig, you should be playing up here with your Sigma. There's nothing, like... Did you just come out of spawn, actually? Yeah, hold on. So, the whole idea that their ball's gonna go for is to boop the Sigma away or slam him, because he's gonna be the most vulnerable on our team. Me and the Sigma, probably. Because Ana's gonna be playing so far back that nothing... Like, the ball would be, like... almost wasting his time with that, especially if you're on Brig. Because you could pack your Ana. We just need to stick closer together, I think.
What the shit? No!
Yeah, if we stuck closer together and stayed here, then maybe Ana play back here.
Like, get
that would make more sense.
Back, basically, you know?
I do want to say, like, the way you're playing is correct if we were on Zen, but since we're not on Zen, you can leave Ana a little more. That's kind of like the difference.
And even then, like, say if we needed to push into them, like, we get a really good pick and we need to stop res, what do we do against this?
Blew up and killed me.
Like, the only two people who can actually push to stop res is Sig and I can't do that alone. But if, like, the whole team was playing this corner and spamming maybe through here or here, that kind of area, and we needed to push, like, a kill on cart, we could do that. We can LOS cart then. But if you're playing back here, the only LOS you're going to have is through this small door, which could be dodged. As well as, like, you're not going to be able to proc Inspire at all from back here.
That's my issue, is, like, I was told to play with your healer no matter what, and then the issue is, like, a lot of Anos will stay far enough away that you can't proc Inspire.
Yeah. It's not that you want to play as close to the healer as possible, as you want to prevent whatever damage is going to happen to them. In which case, it's either a Hanzo headshot, a Pharah shot, or ball rolling into her, right? And the only real way to prevent that is to stop the ball from rolling into them and have your Ana play out of LOS of their DPS, which should be done automatically, right?
Be far enough from Draco that I wouldn't be able to peel if I... Or I'd be far away enough from Mikey that I wouldn't be able to heal peel if I was playing.
If you're playing this corner, you could back that distance. He might need to push up to here, but even then, he'll get access to mini and better cover if he's playing here.
Okay.
All you have to think about, Ana has a way more sustainability than Zen, like way more. So
with both sleep and anti, she can keep herself alive way better.
Yeah.
There's also the whole, like, this is mainly for, like, this type of comp. Like, if you're running a double bubble comp with an Ana Brig, like, you're going to be stuck to your Ana a lot more often, but, like, you still push up a bit. Like, you still eventually move closer to the point of where you're able to proc Inspire. It's like since we have a ball, I like double bubble. Like eventually everyone just pushes forward and you're able to proc stuff, but you're still relatively close to your Ana or Zen. But like in this comp, you can just leave me, and especially since it's an hybrid map, I just sit all the way in the back and they can't touch me.
No, I think I disagree with your positioning here, Mikey. Think of where we want to take this next fight. Are we gonna want to take this next fight here, here, or here?
Farther
like
up.
This corridor, or like this corridor. We want to take it as close as far away from our spawn as possible, because while the fight's going on, we'll contest cart, and that'll prevent us from having only one fight during this like round or this point. Realistically, every point in this game is designed so that you have 2 fights to take it. You have to win 2 fights in a row as an attacker to like cap the point. I think there is a map. I think Gibraltar is really hard to do that on, but it's possible if you hold the first corner and don't let the cart go underneath you. But most teams won't do that.
Well, what's the positioning I should be here then?
You should be here, holding this corner. In case we wanted to push up, you have that option, but you're also hard LOSing their damage. Your Brig could play like here next to turret. So if their ball comes in and does exactly what he does, she could bash him, and that's an instant kill. As well as like you'll get Inspire, you'll be well within pack range, and it gives us the option to push into them or actually like take the fight here instead of all the way back here.
Okay.
Right. So when I'm playing, how should I play with Sig?
The number one, Sig and Brig are like insanely good together, for a variety of reasons. But the number one reason is because if the Sig is at a face-off kind of like this, and their Sig walks to his shield and your Sig walks to his shield, you can swing into the enemy Sig and like see his health and start doing damage to him. And as soon as he uses grasp, you walk into his shield and bash him, and then your team pushes in because their Sig has no shielding, is stunned, and that's probably the only thing that can yeah, that would be like a good catalyst to start the fight, like in a really like positive way. Otherwise, the only way to really kill Sig is to break his cooldowns and stuff. But as a Brig, you can kind of like make up for that. So say if your Sig uses both cooldowns, he LOSs, they're going to want to push in on that, and you can prevent that by bashing Ball or bashing Tracer or whipping Ball away or something, and preventing, giving your Sig more time and your supports more time to heal up that damage that the Sig took. So as Brig, you want to kind of like play like a main tank with Sig. Like Sig Brig together is like a main tank. They keep each other alive really well.
If the Ball and the Sig were pushing at the same time, which combo would I want to use?
You'd want to bash the Ball and whip the Sig in some way. Bash the Ball because it removes his momentum. Whip the Sig because it throws him back, which prevents him from grasping like most damage that would be done to the Ball. There are exceptions to that. I'd say Bash is your number one ability for getting a kill. Whip is your number one ability for sustaining. So kind of like use that to your own idea. But there's also a lot of Brig tech that I can get into, but most of it's going to revolve around bashing to secure kills, whipping to prevent engagements, and to have your team sustain more.
All right. Yeah.
Whipping obviously triggers Inspire, which keeps your team alive really well.
Yeah, I was only taught to play with the healer, so you're saying you play with the Sig, and I'm like, wait a second, how does that work?
Yeah. One really nice thing about Brig too is if you don't know where the enemy is, you can hold right click into this wall and then get the third person like peek into both rooms here. And maybe like there's a Tracer here and you just turn a little bit and bash this corner and it'll push you a little bit because it's a 45-degree angle, and you'll bash someone without them even being able to see you. Like there's a shit ton of like cool things you can do as Brig.
That's a thing?
Yeah. I could show you like after this game, but Like you could bash people through walls a little bit.
Loud.
There's not a big amount of range, but if somebody's not expecting it, it's so strong.
I can hear the speakers.
Because you get both scouting and immediate action with Brig right click. So say if we bashed him right there, I don't know, does he have shielding available? He does. So you could bash him and then maybe whip shot the Sig away, or bash him and whip him away. Generally, I'm going a lot into the Brig, but there's a shit ton everybody else could be doing too. We could have used Rock, we could have used Flash. You could have not burned your E so fast. Your E's very good mid-fight when people are like, when both teams are kind of half health, you pop E, you're basically at full health. You go from like 250 to 350, but that additional armor lets you push in past their shields, maybe kill their Sig real quick, and then back out. Obviously, as Kree, there's left clicking and flashing, and that's pretty much all you can do. You're about to waste sleep on him. I could tell. Even if you sleep him, what's the advantage here?
Maybe
still gonna push in.
Maybe a kill, but I don't.
Yeah, but we
sleep
also
anyway.
have Rock and Flash, so I don't know. Sleep is better against. I'd hold Sleep until the ball tries to maybe like 1v1 you when he has his guns out and he's not moving very fast. That's an easy sleep and walk away, because then you have like the majority of the teams engage, just sleeping on the sideline, and you push in with your team and kill the enemy team.
I need a drink.
And then I expect us to keep holding this choke because the ball backs out, and their Sig's grasping in, and our ball's engaging. So I take cover in here, because I'm expecting us to push up to here and maybe kill the ball or Sig. But we back out. Also, I didn't like your turret placement. Generally, you want to place your turret in a way that the enemy team doesn't know where it is before the fight starts. And when the fight starts, like when shit hits the fan, the turret's going to be shooting at whatever engages your team. So instead of like, you could use a turret to peel for a support by just putting a turret next to the support, and if the support lives maybe 10 seconds or something, it'll kill whatever is like engaging them. Or at the very least, the support can hide behind turret and let them take the, like, you could body block using turret, and let the turret take the damage that would otherwise be done to you.
So I should be putting my turret like either like on
you
that
should
far right
put it
side.
like here or something.
There-ish? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where when the ball engaged, then the turret starts shooting, but it's also not in range of the Hanzo or Pharah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cody, I don't know where I am, but this is very difficult.
There's also things like using your bash for movement and stuff, but that's going to be for another moment. Yeah, there's just no way that we win this. How many fights does this point take? From cap to cap?
1.
Yeah, and what were they able to use during that fight?
Mines and Barrage and Dragon.
Nano and Valk. The only thing that they weren't able to use was Flux, because they used it to the last fight. So if we were able to maybe get all 5 of those ults out on this fight here, we would probably lose it. But then we'd definitely win this fight here, right? And then now we're holding a better choke. They have to walk forward into us. Like, that's the kind of advantage we need to be looking for. And we lost that because we weren't holding this choke, and we weren't holding this choke either. So, yeah, they rolled us with ults, and there's nothing we could do because we weren't holding, like, good positioning.
We need to be a lot more aggressive in our defense.
Not even aggressive. We need to be thinking about, like, what areas of the map do we want to actually take a fight in? Like, my idea was we're going to take a fight in this area of the map, so I stayed, like, in a position where I can shoot that area of the map, right? Your guys' idea was we take a fight here, which is why both supports were here. Torb was here, and Sigma backed up instead of walking back forward with ball engaged.
Aggressive as in, like, holding our space rather than just letting them take it kind of thing. Not actually pushing on them, just holding better space.
Okay, yeah, I understand then.
Also, just, like, use ults if you have them and they're engaging already. I feel like...
Flux was not used fast enough, or at all, actually. So, that ult is as good as useless when you don't use it. Actually, all ults are as good as useless if you don't use them.
Yeah. Especially there, like if you didn't know, like I feel like just flexing the ball would have been enough because you just stop their engage completely. Even
also, if you press control or whatever your crouch button is when you're flexing, it'll bring you down to the ground, so you don't get launched up in the air like a giant target. What a lot of good Sigmas will do, they'll come out here, they'll get the it procced, and then they'll back up into like this hallway or something. So it's impossible for them to get stunned. So it goes off no matter what. Or what they'll do, they'll start the flux here and then rise up here and land here. So the flux ends. They're in a really positive position to shoot at 4 like targets. 3 of them are super good squishy targets. And instead you kind of used alt, rose up in the air, and got rocked by the person who's obviously saving rock against flux. There's not much you could do on Brig after the engagement starts. The best thing you could do is preventing their engagement. So I have time and Noah has time to actually shoot the far out of the sky or do enough damage that we're able to slowly, passively push into the enemy team. Maybe break their Sigma shield, take their choke. I know I talked a shit ton to Spitfire about this, and I know that Max knows this, and Mikey knows this, and Noah knows this. Overwatch is a game about cooldown advantages. If you have a cooldown advantage, you could press that and take space. Space is like, think of like if you guys know about what's going on in Ukraine right now, actually. Kind of like there's a parallel between how you play Overwatch as a macro level and what's going on in Ukraine. So some geopolitical anyways, Ukraine was like, hey, we're thinking about joining NATO, and Russia's like, fuck no you aren't. That puts too many NATO allies on our borders, right? So what we did right there is we let Ukraine here become a NATO ally to the enemy team here, right? And now we're dealing with NATO on our border instead of like here, right? Where we have Ukraine is like, if a war is going to start, it's going to be in Ukraine and not Russia, right? Imagine we're Russia. So,
wait.
So what Putin's doing right now is he, as like a grand strategy, he is putting a shit ton of resources into making sure that whatever happens, it'll happen in Ukraine, because that's going to be way better than happening over here, right? Because if it happens in Russia and they lose the fight, they're fucked, right? But if it happens in Ukraine and they lose the fight in Ukraine, they still have Russia to fight through, right? So he's basically, by holding Ukraine as... Yeah, by holding Ukraine as the war zone here, right?
What you're telling me basically is Putin's playing Overwatch.
Yeah, well, this is like a known strategy. This has been done since like the dawn of time. This is why the English Channel is really important and why Britain has a strong navy ever since like the fall of the Roman Empire. This would be the English Channel, right? Britain would never, like, they had a policy where they would be able to beat any navy in the world, any world powers navy, single-handedly. And on top of that, they'd be able to beat the best 2 navies combined.
I'm on the roller coaster.
Outright. Because if the English Channel fell, right, the war would happen on like the English Isles. And that's not good, right? You don't want like your people fighting like defensive wars where it's like city by city and it's your city, right? Really bad for morale. Basically, you lose the war if that happens. Germany did this with Poland too. Germany hated the Soviets. The Soviets were like, with the Nazis. So what they did, this is Poland, right? Pretty neutral country. They just split it 50-50 so that if a war did happen between them, it wouldn't be so close to their homeland that like they would lose the war, right? When they start to lose factories and morale tanks, that's the big thing that loses wars. But like having that buffer area is super important when it comes to anything like strategy wise. So when we gave up Ukraine here, we lost this whole point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And to push, like, when we hold this choke, they're gonna have to win this fight against us. and then we're gonna go back here, and they're gonna have to win this fight against us, and then we're gonna go back here, and they're gonna have to win the fight against us like 3 times, right? And the chance that they have all ults for 3 fights in a row, very slim. Like they blew 5 ults just to win this fight here, or this fight here, kind of.
You said when they were engaging the last part right there that there wasn't like a whole lot I could do while they were engaging, but like try to. You said, I don't know if you said sustain or something else, but I wanted to.
At this roller coaster?
Like, how would I go for that?
The best thing you could do is Brig is to prevent them from engaging. Their engagement tool is the ball, and the ball is something you can stun very easily.
What?
Or but if the ball is staging on high ground just for like a if he comes up here with his hook and then he waits for 7 seconds for his hook to recharge and then you see him peeking over here, you can whip shot him back and it'll either throw him off high ground or if he's already in the slam animation, you could boop him back and he'll just slam this area here. So the engagement hasn't started yet. I as a Kree am able to roll out a little more and maybe kill their Pharah or do as much damage as possible. Then our tanks take Ukraine back, right? And now we're not fighting in Russia anymore. We're fighting in Ukraine.
So you're trying to say like prevent the engage?
Exactly. You want to make this as hard as possible for their ball to actually engage. Because as soon as their ball engages, their whole team goes in too.
But if they do engage, what would I do?
Procking Inspire, packing the right people, and trying to bash the ball. Or bash maybe even the Sig if he gets close enough. It's all kind of like macro. But in general, sticking with your Sigma is probably the best option against this comp when the Sigma is the weakness and you're on a the big thing that I look for whenever I'm playing Brig and I'm like protecting an Ana is what's going to try to kill the Ana. If they don't have a Tracer or a Sombra or like maybe a good Reddit Lucio or something that's like nimble, fast that a Brig would just destroy, but they could kill an Ana or at least distract her long enough for his team to win the fight. Then I mostly play with the tanks and prevent them from like I start to play like a tank. I bash their Ryan, I bash their Sig, that kind of thing. I boop their Winston back whenever he tries to jump in. I just make it living hell to be a tank player because I can hold my shield up. They can't do damage to me, and then as soon as they mess up, I bash them and we win the fight. But if we're playing against Dive, I play so far up my Ana's ass. I saw what she ate the last week. Because the whole idea with Dive is to kill the supports, the backline while ignoring the front line, and then attacking the front line, or pushing objective while their front line retreats. So if I'm able to prevent the enemy's win condition from even starting to happen, we win the fight.
So if they played more of a Dive comp here, I would play with the Ana, and the Sig would be okay.
Yeah, the Sig would be fine where he was. Yeah. Because you could pack him through whatever they do to him, right? The only exception is if he gets antied, but that's kind of universal.
Aren't you only supposed to pack like squishies?
No, you can pack anything, but squishies usually work best on.
Okay.
You want to save a pack for both DPS and your other support player. But it's iffy, and if you ever die with 3 packs, I'm gonna make fun of you. Ooh. Hold on. Was there anyone you could have packed? Yeah.
I guess
could have packed a lot. You could have packed Sig twice and Ball once. That's probably what I would have done.
I guess on top of all that, don't try to think about the game like super statically. Like, just think of like general use, I guess, of your abilities and try to play the best with them that way.
Yeah.
Because there's no like hard set rules that are gonna make you better.
Yeah. It's not like if you play with your I understand where the advice was coming from, but you should never say you should always do this in Overwatch. I think Overwatch is really, really dynamic as a game. Like with League, you could say, "Oh, you need to dodge this cooldown, then you have to go for that." Or yeah, if you don't full jungle clear, then you just lose the game. Or whoever it used to be, but they kind of patched this. I don't know if it's still a thing, but whoever got first scuttle usually wins jungle, and then jungle carries the lanes, and then that's it. Game over.
I think they patched that finally.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Anyways, I think Overwatch is really cool because it's super dynamic. Sometimes you just get a random pick, and then what do? A good team's gonna react fast, and they're gonna react pretty accurately. A bad team's gonna sit there and wait for the entire fight, trying to figure out what the best option was. So it usually comes down to having like one strong leader who can, even if you only say things right 10% of the time, the fact that you're saying something instantly and with confidence is going to get your team to win more fights than lose.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't hold that. If you guys have any other things to say, like if you don't know where to position or something, let me know. I'll talk about it more. So I go Echo here. Only went Echo because I couldn't aim on Ashe. Mercy gets stunned. So one of the things you really want to do is Mercy is play at max range as long as possible. You could be playing back here and still be healing me or damage boosting me, and then when I start to fly away, then you shift towards me and kind of use this as cover now. So you always want to keep like max range from me, because if I get slammed, you're gonna get slammed. If I get dynamited, you're gonna get dynamited, and I'm always gonna be like a large target. Draco, you should
Yeah.
just stand here, like, and your Ana can walk through here. They're not gonna push you. They're on Ana Sig also. The only thing that pushes you is Ball maybe, or Pharah, but I think Pharah is a little bit too far away to deal with that.
Weird.
Oh, I cannot kill these people.
I don't know if Ball and Tracer were talking, but you guys should definitely be like right next to each other.
I'm in Pacifica.
Yep. Yeah. The number one thing that a Ball that was a really good anti, by the way. Tracer, if you're able to get to these stairs, there's an easy path this way. It takes 2 blinks, and then 1 blink, 2 blinks, and you're here, right? You're at the doorway, and then you walk up here. If you took any damage, you can take that Mega, and you wait. You wait for your Ball. If they start to push in on you, then I, as Echo, will fly in and try to kill them and help you. And your Tracer, you can just like blink out of there and then get out of there in whatever way possible.
Really good, because you have like 3 different angles, and they're going to be confused which one to look at.
Yeah. And then if you come here and Ball slams them, they're going to have 2 options, right? They're going to go this way or they're going to go this way. Their third option is to drop the point, but that's really stupid. Most people won't do that. Unless it's like a pre-plan and there's an Orisa there and a BAP or something.
Okay.
So Ball slams. They're going to be maybe half health. She uses nade. Ball starts engaging one of these 2, and as a Tracer, you come up from behind these stairs and start like shredding them. But being in that position with your Ball and having that timing is like absolutely necessary on this comp.
Also, I think you're like, I get the pathing, but your pathing coordinates sound like a Sombra where you need a path. Almost. I don't know.
Yeah, this is completely ineffective right now.
Because like Sombra gets around really quick and you want to be back there, but as Tracer, you really just need like short, direct paths.
Right.
And Uncle's engaging them here, yeah. Yeah, I think Max said it really well there. Take shorter paths as Tracer, so you still have your blinks when the fight starts.
Gotcha.
Like, how effective have you been in this fight?
None.
0, yeah.
I don't like Pacifica.
How effective were you the last fight when you made the long rotation this way? You were kind of effective because you distracted their Pharah, right? But honestly, it would have been better if you just died to the Pharah there when the fight was called lost.
Right.
And then respawned and started with your team here, so that everyone has that same like internal timing. Instead, you are maybe 30 seconds behind because now you have to find a health pack somewhere or get healed. And during this time, we're dying because you're not engaging stuff with the Ball. Like, this is a free kill, right? And then maybe this is a free kill too. But we're not here because you're 1 health from last fight still.
Well, I went 180 and then I crashed into a wall.
Mikey, if I'm getting pocketed, I don't necessarily need your heals.
You're just the only one I could heal.
You could have healed the Tracer.
I know it's behind the wall.
I don't think I could. Oh, there. Yeah. I don't think I noticed.
And again.
Definitely, if you're low, call it as Tracer also. Like, Just peek out.
Like,
for,
I know that you know how to do this, Mikey, because you called this to me literally on Lijiang, but you could tell the tracer peek window or something.
Yep.
Didn't notice, which is absurd because there's a big critical sign running around on my screen.
Yeah, and then I am very confused how you died there, Cam.
Okay, I'm gonna start it. I'm also gonna go eat some.
You overflew.
I've eaten today potato chips.
This is the enemy's territory, and you are thoroughly inside of it.
Yeah.
So I need I know the internal thing to do, but I don't know how to say it. So I'll go into the practice range after this and show you. But there's ways
I
to
have like a hard time
cancel
not
your flight.
overflying sometimes, so that would be very helpful to learn.
Learning how to cancel your flight's like super necessary on Mercy. I actually have a really good Mercy VOD to show you that you can look at.
I've been trying to teach myself how to super jump too, and that's kind of difficult.
I could teach you a trick for that too. It's not like a bind this to your mouse and it'll work. It's an actual.
I already did. Oh wait, yeah, I have a mouse keybind for like crouch, but
nah. If like, I accidentally super jumped once, and then I figured out how I did it, and that was like when super jump was like the thing. If you could super jump, you were a GM Mercy player. I'm not even fucking joking about that. People were so pissed when like people discovered super jumping. Like instead of overflying, and I'll show you, is when I'm in the air, you can fly up to here, press your fly again, it'll cancel and kind of bring you to a standstill and like cancel your momentum. And then from there you hold space or flutter space because it'll make you jiggle a little bit harder to headshot. And then you kind of like walk back here because you know that I'm not going to push in. But if I do, then you can kind of like swing back around and do that kind of thing. And completely LOS the enemy.
so
While you're floating down.
Cancels the flight.
It's no, pressing space.
It increases it. You go forward a bit.
You maintain your momentum. When you press shift or whatever your guardian angel, the one that you use to fly to people, it'll stop your momentum.
Oh, okay.
So there's different ways to do that. And, I'll show you a VOD where I do it. I might pull it up after this because it's a really good VOD to look at. I was nuts.
I hope you get mines.
Of course I do. Do we win or lose this fight, Max?
I hope you guys fucking win this fight. What the hell? You're up.
You're not gonna believe it.
6 should be pushing up now. You guys are up.
Yep. Well, actually, this is fine because they're still on far, right? Their far is separated. I don't get heals. I die.
No way you guys lose
that
this.
was my bad. Oops.
We definitely lose it.
Now we clean it up.
Nope, we lose this.
We lose it.
No shot. I would say there, you guys could have prevented if Ball and Tracer just like went in and just like distracted the 4 pushing. I feel like you guys would have won easily.
One of the things a lot of like good teams will do, and you'll see this in ladder and shit if you watch streamers, they'll leave like 1 or 2 people on point, usually like an Ana, like position right here, so that if they peek her LOS, which is like bookshelf now, they can get heals, and everyone else is gonna play here because this point is like notorious for recontests.
Yeah.
Because this area is really nice to push through up until here, and then you're on point and you have to commit to the recontest.
You guys lost because you didn't take fight or take space. That's like pretty much it.
And I didn't get heals.
Cody, what server?
Yeah.
I literally sat at like 10 HP.
Yeah, but even then, like we should not be relying on the Echo to take space for us.
Yep, especially when they're running Sigma, when I can't do anything against him if he has a shield.
Your Ball Chaser should just like been in their back line, like just 2v4ing them and just living. And then your Sigma could have pushed up.
It's just ridiculous. Just die as fast as possible. Stop healing your team, by the way, Mikey, on that. You're only feeding them all charge because you already have nano.
I was shooting at the ball. But, yeah, my bad.
Fuck. Dude, I literally said fuck as loud as possible when she got away. I remember because, like, Joey, in his Infinite
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Yeah, I remember
It was
that.
like, hey, can you keep it down? Like, they're playing, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like,
They were,
literally,
like-
fuck you.
They were being super loud, and then he went and told us to be quiet. I was like,
Okay, so
Oh. Who did we
Alvin
nano?
nanoing an Echo is very much like nanoing a Genji without dash or a Monkey without jump. If I don't already have my fly, I just gotta sit there and they walk away, and I'm kind of a wasted nano. And then I get barraged.
I think if the plan was a nano, you guys just go super aggro, nano's sick and kill them all.
Like no. I think the nano Echo works as long as my team was there to push into them. Because
Okay.
they're all 5 of them, all 6 of them, whatever, are all gonna be looking at me because I'm a nano Echo. Sig, you can literally walk up, just like rock their Sig and kill them. Like they will not give a fuck.
Oh.
This entire time when I was playing DPS, their backline just didn't like look to the left or right. They were wearing horse blinders.
You guys cap.
Oh, you think we cap?
I hope so. You guys have Mines, Flux, and Copy. Okay, there's Mines.
Oh
There's
yeah,
Counters Mines.
I'm ready.
This is your
Resin.
first
Yeah,
cop, or
shit.
this is your first flux, right?
I believe so.
The martial artist female.
The biggest thing I can tell you as like an off tank is just like push your limits as much as possible. Like you're not a main tank, so you're not gonna be able to like survive as long, but like hold space for as long as possible and figure out how long you can hold that space.
So I don't even care about point because I know you're on it. The first thing I immediately do is push into their team and prevent them from like having a
yeah,
chance
they
to
turned
recontest.
around and went back.
I hate that Echo Mines disappear.
I will be right back.
I hate Echo though, so
You hate
playing
Echo?
playing against an Echo, fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
So the reason why I stand up here is because this is a good spot as Mercy. Just sit and look at things and alt track and shit. This is fun. This is a free rock or sleep. Just get him off the card as fast as possible. You missed your rock. I need my ball to engage here. Yeah, perfect. So this is kind of what I want the engagement to look like. Ball engages from the right side. Tracer comes from the left side, tries to finish up anything, and I'm coming from main. Realistically, it doesn't really matter what angles we take, but we did do like a 3-pronged attack. And notice how, like, none of us died from it. Ball took the majority of the damage. I spoke too soon.
Can we
Can't
go
like
back?
hard commit to that unless we.
I
I'm
was gonna
very
say.
curious on what you did there to die.
They were turning around and pretty disoriented.
You're engaging with one blink, dude. You blink in with one blink and no recall.
Recall.
Okay.
Thanks for doing the VOD. I gotta go to my other teams.
Good luck.
For a game, thanks. Our coach, or no, our coach isn't there tonight. One of our players will be streaming it. I'll post the link in the chat if you guys want to watch.
Alright, good luck.
Alright, good luck.
Thanks. See you guys.
See ya.
Are you you're recording this, by the way?
Mikey,
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
cool.
kids.
Just send me it later. I'll look through it all. Thanks. See ya.
did you say he has a match or a VOD review?
Match.
Finding.
Yeah, so we're stuck waiting for him again.
Wait, who are we waiting for?
No,
No, he
because he
died.
died again.
Like between fights is really bad. So engage with mines. I think we kill Ana with it. Nope. Wait, what killed the mines? Oh, the Ana nade. Fuck. So I pushed Sigma real hard. Cam is not with me, but I have Nano, so I was fine. I have matched my Sigma Flux for Flux.
I was really scared of how far you were pushing there.
Like, this is the thing, like, he can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you all can, honestly. Like, I feel like Sigma should be up here as well. Just leave Ana on card. There's nothing.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is a Sigma? Like, who are you shielding? Who are you grasping? What are you gonna rock? Like, Ana has a lot of utility she can do on card because she's a ranged healer with no drawbacks to, like, range. But, because we were fighting in Russia instead of Ukraine, they were able to kill us.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, Sigma in this comp, I feel like Ball makes his space, but Sigma, you need to hold it.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
I'm customizing.
My positioning is meant to be.
Making it very hot chick. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it, folks. Also, Wednesday I hit GM again, so we're back up.
What?
Whoop whoop.
What have you been playing a lot this season?
Bap, Lucio, Briggs, and
Okay, cool.
but the only positive win rate I think is Mercy and Bap. nah, I like my Zen win rate's higher than my Brig and Lucio.
Oh, you can customize tattoos?
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna show you this game actually. Goes Blizzworld. This whole map is just like Mercy Masterclass shit. I'm not gonna lie. We do some arguing and shit, trying to figure out who plays what.
Do you have like another main support on your team?
No, we had a Genji OTP, and this guy went Ashe, and I'm like, okay, do you want to play Ana or Mercy, or like, what's up? So he played Ana, I played Mercy. Look at what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing?
You're looking for people if they're gonna go left or not.
Yeah, I hear a Widow on left. So I'm bobbing my head up and down in case she peeks me. I'll be able to just like go to the right or something and hide LOS and call out the Widow. I was gonna walk on top of her in case because her head was here, her body was here. So realistically, if a person like got close enough, they could headshot her and kill her. But if I stood in front of her, like stood on her body, my hitbox would block her head hitbox. It's not a great trade because I have res, but
some 5-head shit.
And then I know that there like at least 3 people are burning. So really my Zarya shouldn't have died, but my Rein shouldn't have backed up. While my Ashe was rotating and reloading, I was damage boosting the Genji. I noticed Hog just used hook, so I go for the free res. Get it off. Super jump off the Rein's body to get out.
Oh my god, this is
gonna be epic.
I listen for Ashe throwing dynamite and try to damage boost her in time. I don't get it off. Bob's off point, so I call that to my team. My Genji's cleaning up, so I damage boost him for the last few seconds. Yeah.
What did you say?
And then somehow we actually won that fight because we had a really good Bob that distracted them enough and a good sleep on their free.
Wait, what?
So now, what do you think I'm doing? What's the plan for the next fight?
Alright.
You're probably out tracking and calling out what they may or may not have.
Yeah. Why am I damage boosting the Genji, not the Ashe?
Because
you can get moving tattoos.
Flails.
That way he can beat. So that way he can get blade in time.
Yeah. Our next fight's obviously like Nanoblade, right? But we're only 90% to blade, so I'm damage boosting the Genji. So if he hits 3 shots, it's like 7% instead of just 5%. My Ashe gets back.
Does it show when you press tab to check where the ult charges are at?
No, not in the replay.
Okay. Because I was like, were you like, how'd you know if he was close?
It shows your teammates.
Yeah, I press tab all the time. Oh, that's a weird hat. Huh.
Is that what you're? I think that's what you're asking, right, Cam?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know when your teammates ults are coming up, you can see it.
We get flux, so I just heal him during it, and I die to the flux.
Bind? Oh, the widow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good flux to counter Nano Blade. There's very little I can do there, I think.
Oh, it has to be a unique
I
name?
ended Genji's career once. He got nano-bladed 3 times in one game, and every single time I just immediately fluxed him and only him.
Dick move, but that makes sense. You're trading 1 ult for 2, and that's their win condition. Top it off. So, notice what I'm doing. I am, 1, scouting for their Widow a lot. I think we don't know where she is, so I'm kind of like playing behind cover. But since I know their team is playing like in this area and that's like their territory, I'm playing on this side of like turret.
So I can get what I was wearing?
But while I position here, I can choose to fly to the Genji, Ana, or Zarya, right? So if one of them gets dove, or Ashe actually too.
At the end of the game?
I have like a lot of fly points that I can go to. And I go to the Ashe because Genji starts deflecting and Ashe throws Dyna.
Oh, okay.
Also, my Ashe is in a really good position to do damage here, so I'm going to try to exploit that.
It's Ashe spotted.
Wait. Okay.
We use Valk Blade. Or
Did I
Valk
hit
Grab.
launch?
And then I pistol her.
I hit launch.
I get bubbled, go for the res, no hook. Heal Ana, stay in the air.
The 6 slots.
I noticed my Orisa gets purpled, so I just damage use my Genji, so we kill the Sigma before he's able to kill her. And then try to get Blade before Nano happens. But honestly, like, Genji should be really self-sufficient. Like, damage boosting the Ashe so he wins the Widow duel or Kree duel is more important.
Do you move more than you attack, or do you attack more than you move?
Oh, that's a really good Dyna.
Which do you do more?
I try to keep my team above half health during the flux.
Well, it was default with attack on the right button, and it made me feel weird. Okay.
So, one thing is that standing near your tanks is pretty dangerous, but I have to go this way to get to my Ashe, right? And that's my next goal, because both tanks are pretty much full health. So,
you have 8 skill buttons?
What do I do to get there? Oh, never mind, she walks forward. But the right answer is if the fight was actually going to take place, I can super jump off the Zarya here, end up around here, and then fly to my Ashe directly here.
Hi. Oh. No, we get it, we get it.
I don't have res for that.
Okay. Okay, I started.
Kree behind. And introduce the Ana for it.
I could sleep.
It was a really good sweep. I want to get away from that hog as far as possible. My Ana dies, so I go with my Zarya. And then she has sights, but I have nowhere to fly to, and she picks me. I was in a really bad spot. That was my fault. This next fight's really funny, though. Alright, so what do you think our plan is for this next one?
Grab Blade.
Yeah, grab Blade. But our Genji dies, so I'd go up here to res him. How do you think I got up there?
Huh?
Wait, play it again. I didn't see.
Because I was definitely out of range for that, right?
No.
So, Mercy fly range, I'll show you. My Genji dies now. He's halfway to respawn. He's almost respawned. Did I do that the way I think I did?
It looked like you just pressed shift on him.
Yeah, I guess I just did. But I was holding E while I was flying then. So as soon as I get close, it procs it immediately.
Oh.
Then I pop Valk
all right.
and contest cart and fly around cart while I damage boost his blade.
No, she doesn't pop graph. Oh,
They did already. It was a little earlier, but he died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I didn't realize
What is
he did
going
it
on?
like British.
Yeah.
Like, notice how I'm figuring out like who needs heals, who needs the help. I go to Genji. I notice my Ana's still low, and the Sig backed up. So I flew to him. I thought I'm healing tanks, because my Ana already has nano. But it's always more important to damage boost rather than heal, because I've got an Ana who can do way more healing than me, but she can't damage boost her team. And this guy does the same thing. Stands on the Genji's head. My only goal during a flex is to keep everyone above half health so nobody dies during the impact.
Okay, here we go. Now I'm choosing my class.
Yeah, let's watch that back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Wilbur.
Definitely gonna be a scrapper.
So we need to win this fight, right? We have Nano Blade. Nano Blade's kind of bad.
Huh?
Or I think it wasn't even Nano Blade, it was just Nano Genji. So I damage boost him, so he's able to get that dash damage.
No striker.
So he kills 2 immediately.
There's no striker.
And then he kills the Brig, and I think this guy after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just from the Genji's perspective.
I'm gonna be a scrapper. How do I choose it?
I both kept the Genji up and damage boosted him enough so that he got those like final kills. I kind of sacrificed myself to do it, but I didn't expect to get whole hogged in that way, where I got pinned against a circle surface. Now I'm alt tracking, but whenever I like walk into walls and don't move my mouse, I'm alt tracking. I shouldn't have I shouldn't have super jumped, because I just heard him pop walls, so I expected to get my head taken off. That's why I was shaking my. I looked down. Here, I'll show you. So there's a reason why you look down and shake instead of looking up or just shaking your head as is. Your head hitbox leans in when you look down. This is like Mercy looking down. It leans in, so it's a little bit more off center from the like radial turn that the hitbox will do. So it's harder to hit, I guess. Like.
It is. It's like if you spin the globe on its axis, it's not gonna move much. But if you like offset it, it's gonna spin more.
Yeah. Like the reason why you see like Lucio's like look down and turn is your head like moves forward, and this is like in line and it moves forward, and then turning it this way is gonna move your head hitbox way more. Like Winston's will butt jump, they call it. You've probably seen it before. But say if like that bot up there's an enemy Widow, what a Winston will do is turn like that, so there's no way that the Widow can headshot him on the way there.
I think I have seen that before, and it's always really funny looking.
Yeah. Anybody want like hero advice?
I want to learn better Mercy tech.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah, I can teach you a really easy way to super jump. So,
I'm testing and I'm fighting a boss.
Do you know the difference or the length of McCree's flashbang?
Pretty darn far when you're playing Lucio.
Yeah, so it's about this distance. That's the perfect distance to super jump. So just imagine you're flashing them. You hold control and shift, and then when you feel the dip, you press space.
See, that's why I'm like the worst Kree. Because I tend to miss flash.
Say if this is like your fire or something. Notice how on every fly, the cooldown starts earlier. Because I'm canceling my flight. If I didn't do that, the cooldown is much longer.
I didn't realize. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
oh, that's so cool!
Masa. Yeah.
It actually does. Huh.
Yep. So you can
so
literally like hold this cover, and say if the enemy's on this side and this is a Pharah, kind of hold this cover for as long as possible. Hold on. Never mind. Fuck that. And then the longer distance you go with super jumps, the farther horizontally it'll go.
Plus you.
It's instead of just pressing shift and then space, or that's probably the max you can go. Is like to here.
I think Soul Fist is the way to go, but I hate the close.
You can kind of go up that way.
Sorry, how'd you do
hate the close.
So once you get the McCree flashbang distance, like max up,
really
kind of thing, super jump.
Right.
What you're really looking for is here, I'm gonna see if I can draw it. Like, you go like this, right, and then it kind of dips like that, and then that's your flight, right? Only for crouch flying. Like if you crouch then fly, and if you stand at like flashbang distance, it'll make a U shape. And at the bottom of that U, you press space, and it conserves the upward U part.
It's okay. I love
movement.
the mobility.
If you press or hold.
So what I'm doing is with my pinky, I'm pressing Control and Shift in that order. Control Shift, and then space to let go.
I just go forward. Ugh.
You don't even have to press W or anything for it.
Stream it. You might be doing it. Like you might be jumping too early.